Hey guys, it's Merlini with predictions and odds analysis for tomorrow's December 7th Playday. And unfortunately, I missed the first bet for today, which is MVP versus EOT. But if you're interested in researching information about this, you can head on over to the subreddit Dota 2 lounge bets. They often have very good information on there, and if you headed over there, you would see that MVP doesn't actually have Demon. They have two different teams, and this MVP doesn't actually have Demon. So many of you may have placed your rares blindly, thinking, "Oh, Demon equals auto win," which it usually should. But EOT is actually up in this series, and it looks like they may take the third game. Still very questionable, though. They're currently up 2-1, though. So do your research before you place your rares if you don't want them squandered. Anyways, we have 4 EMS 1 matches, which are all best of ones, and we have 2 GPL matches. I'll talk about the GPL matches first. We have Idol versus FD. I've lost so many rares betting against FD. I'm just going to ride the FD train because it seems like they are doing pretty darn good. And odds seem about right, but the value is still pretty good for betting on FD. I'll bet on them here. Insidious Idol also lost out to XCTN, which were a little bit underwhelming. So that is that also lends the case for FD. Next one that we have is FD versus Slytherin. Slytherin and Idol, they're pretty evenly matched, I'd say. Slytherin were very, very close to beating Idol the other day. And yeah, I think Slytherin is slightly worse. But if FD managed to lose to Idol, I'll reconsider this bet. But as it stands right now, FD versus Slytherin seems like fairly safe 0.8 rares. That's pretty terrible odds, though. So if you're looking to increase your bankroll, today is not the day. Then we have the EMS1, all best of one in the group stage. One Dota, some of you may not have heard of them. They have one really old player called Google, who I played with before, and he's actually pretty good. And I don't think this will be a pushover of a match. The odds are terrible for betting on Alliance, 0.6 rares for 4, and I think it's either worth it to place one rare on one Dota or just completely skip the bet. Because if you place one rare, you have a chance of losing one rare, whoop-de-doo, and have a chance of winning 6.4 for 1. That's pretty good, and the off chance of an upset, which sometimes happens. So, looking at the next match, we have Startail versus Fnatic, and Startail, Korean team, almost stands no chance versus the Western teams. They got mopped by VP when they had NS and Blow Your Brain, and Fnatic is definitely a tier above VP. And Fnatic's been looking pretty darn good lately. I don't really see them dropping this. Again, the returns are pretty darn terrible for betting on Fnatic. 0.6 for 4 again. I don't even think it's worth placing 1 on Startail here. Either bet on Fnatic or don't bet at all. And the next EMS match that we have is Sigma Int versus Na'Vi. Finally, an interesting match with somewhat close odds. So Sigma has shown time and time again that they can beat out Na'Vi. They did beat them out 3-2 in the D2CL, the Champions League, and they beat them out 1-0 in a best of 1 at MLG Columbus. So taking all that into account and Sigma's rather weak performance versus Speed, where they lost the other day, Na'Vi should still be the slight favorites in the matchup. I'd say 55-45 Na'Vi, but there's decent expected value betting on Sigma here. I think it's a pretty good bet to bet on Sigma. And yeah, Na'Vi may win this, but it's a best of 1. Anything can happen. Last but not least, we have Vici Gaming versus Against All Authority. And Against All Authority is a French organization. Don't really know too much about them, but the odds currently are 0.5 for 4 betting on Vici, which is 1-8 odds, which means that AAA should win at least 1 out of 9 times if you want to bet on them. And I would take the under in that bet. I don't think that AAA is going to win 1 out of 9 times. Vici, in their last 5 matches, they have beat out IG, they beat LGD China, they beat DK, they beat LGD China again, and then they beat DK again. So there is a lot of value riding the Vici train. I have won many rares betting on them, and so have many other people. And although you might only win one rare on this, it's pretty dumb to bet against Vici, at least right now, until they start showing signs of slowing down. But again, this day is not a very good day for building your rares. Your expected value for today is maybe like plus 1.5 rares or something. It's going to be pretty bad, and I don't really see more than like 2 upsets happening. One of them, maybe, we'll see. But probably best to wait another day if you're looking to get mad rares. Anyways, best of luck to your rares. Enjoy the matches. You don't necessarily have to bet on them to enjoy them, although sometimes it does feel like that. So Again, thank you guys for watching. I'll be back tomorrow for more Mad Rares with Merlini.